Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hi, Shannon.
Hi, how are you?
I am good. And good morning to the beautiful people that have joined us this morning, or this afternoon, or this evening to see us kicking things off and struggling with DNS.
That's always my favorite. Because, I used to argue all the time that it was never
Okay.
DNS. And then all my
It's
networking
always,
colleagues would always show me that it was DNS. So I used to
it's
think I was so great with DNS until we would
until
run into
you
some of these
weren't,
weird
or
problems.
until you hit issues.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, exactly. It was one of those things where you support a bunch of customers over the years. You don't really quite account for all the MacGyver configurations. And that's what always would get us. So.
So it's always DNS or it's always BGP. It's one or the other. Somebody screws up the routing table somewhere and you're done.
Yeah, somebody
You
somebody
wanna
out there
know?
in the audience is now mad at you because you blame BGP, though. Just so you know,
Hey,
I'm
wasn't
sure.
there a massive outage the other day because somebody screwed up a BGP table
Yes,
somewhere?
yes,
Because if you didn't know, the internet is put together with sticks and strings and sticky tape.
Elmer's glue, and
That's
mostly Elmer's glue and Scotch tape, right?
yeah, and there's like seven servers that run everything. Don't tell anyone. So check out
It's commodity hardware.
this fascinating fact. I was in a conference one day with a very good friend of mine, and we're talking about his brother. He's like, "Oh, he got a new job." I was like, oh, "Okay, what does he do?" So he says to me, in the UK there are lots of companies that offer internet services, and it's a smaller region, so I think it fits in the size of Washington, half of Washington,
Okay,
maybe.
okay,
Okay, maybe bigger, maybe Washington. And they were like, you know what? There's all these different service providers. They all have cables and they all have all these things underground. However, no one knows who delivers services to where, because every time there's a fault, they reroute from the closest network, and because all these networks are connected. Let's say one service will be piggybacking on some other person's service, and there's this written agreement or unwritten agreement that this will be allowed.
yeah,
So now they're trying to figure out who's serving who. Like if the internet comes to my home and I'm paying Comcast, is it Comcast that actually serves me, or is it somebody else? Because they've rerouted, and there's some others because they dig the ground, the ground to do works, or they put new roads out there, and there's always damage to the network. And
yeah,
because they don't
always.
want to have that, they created this kind of fault tolerant network that in effect lives on its own,
Oh,
and they reroute everything, but they didn't know who eventually serves the audience, so the customers. So his job was to follow the network and write a tool that will actually go from its path to work out which network is used where. It's like
yeah,
amazing. Nobody knows that,
yeah.
right? It's all behind the scenes.
Yeah, I had a little heaping dose of that when I worked for a company and I was their internal IT, and we used to always have to get all these lines coming in for Bloomberg feeds and things of that sort, and it was always a messy reality because you'd order it from one vendor, but maybe AT&T would come in and connect it because it's AT&T the last mile or whatever, and I was always really confused when I first became
Yeah.
an IT. I'm like, what? This doesn't make any sense at all, and then that's when I kind of realized that's sort of how it all got put together. So,
Yes.
and I mean, fixing it at this point, it would require a full replumbing of everything, and it just doesn't make any sense.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, hello to our friends on the Microsoft Developer channel, and hello to our friends
Hello.
on the 45 Show channel. Hello to our friends on YouTube. Hello to our friends
I'm right by the QR code
on
today.
yeah. I damn it.
Yeah, there you go. You got it. Yeah.
I did the
So
there.
we've been doing a lot with decentralized identities this month, and
Yes.
if you have not yet done anything, and you're trying to figure out what we're even talking about, do yourself a favor and scan this QR code and get a credential issued, and you can even verify it too. So it's kind of a cool workflow, and it's something that is starting to gain a lot of traction in this world of decentralization, right? So gone are the days when I guess not gone, right? But the trend is moving away towards or moving away from centralized systems, right? So centralized IT.
Indeed.
Because we're having so many different things that connect to the internet, it probably makes sense to have decentralized identities like you could get right here.
Yeah,
So,
you can get one over there. Go and get
yeah.
your first, if it's not the first, and get another one. Trooper says afternoon. Hey Trooper, hope you're good. Bruce is online as well. Hi Bruce. And BST guy, always with his supportive demeanor. So he says, "You got this. We always have this." Thank you for joining us. Thank you for joining us today. And for everyone that signed up the hackathon, we're really excited to have you on board. I think we have 520 people. I haven't checked.
Yeah, I checked
I'm
this
not
morning.
checking
It was
frequently.
over five. It was over. You were two. Don't even start.
Every
You were
5 minutes.
checking.
519.
I think wasn't the joke I asked if you built an Azure function that like refreshed it, and you said I should have. I didn't though.
Yeah, I didn't, but I could have. But just because you can doesn't mean you should.
It's right. So 519 participants. We're officially kicking it off.
Yeah.
I think folks have started in on trying to stand up the sample applications. So if you are interested in this project and you're interested in joining the hackathon, the recommendation from engineering is to stand up the sample applications, just because of the fact that there's enough moving pieces that you probably want to make sure it's set up correctly and you can issue and verify credentials before you start tweaking it. And that way, as you build your project for the hackathon, you've got a sort of control environment that you can go back to, right? Did I mispermission something? Did I forget a step, right? You've got an environment that works that you can sort of clone or build off of. So yeah, so start in, hack away, but for sure stand up the sample applications. And I mean, the applications are interesting. There's a .NET app, there's a Python app, and I think there's a Java app.
Python, Java, Node, I think.
Oh yeah, Node. That's right. Node was. I thought there was a fourth one, but I was too early still. I was like, what?
It is too early.
Not enough coffee.
The human being, right?
Yeah, it's the human being. I'm traveling. The early, well, I guess the short story is, and I can start talking about this a little bit more. I am finalizing an adoption at the moment, so I'm not in Chicago like I normally am. I'm in a warmer climate. This is not my normal backdrop, and I didn't even know this existed. This is called Human Being. It's fantastic. They're all over America. I thought it was something that was down here until I did a little bit of research on it. So
I don't think I've seen them in Seattle or Washington, but then again, they
that's
would be
like the
eaten
land
up
of
by
Seattle.
Starbucks here.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's the land of Starbucks.
Like every 50 yards, there's a Starbucks somewhere. It's
Right.
insane. Like, you go to Target, there's a Starbucks inside, and then you walk out of Target to go somewhere else, and then you pass by a Starbucks. It's like, how many Starbucks can be in one shopping mall? Which I think
it's also very similar in downtown Chicago. Sometimes they're almost right next door. They're usually across the street, but so I've had some that literally like a business or two in between. And there's another Starbucks. It's just crazy. But yeah, so
if you
I've
like
been drinking
coffee,
Human Being.
lots of choices. We
Yeah,
have
exactly.
Peach coffee here as well, which is fairly big.
Pizza's good. Yeah.
Peach is good. And then, there's the artisan coffee where people go into extreme lengths to acquire these elusive beans that have been roasted somewhere. And then people roast their own beans as well. I mean, you can take it to all these different levels. I am a simpleton. Code Patter says, any chance for subtitles? I hear you, my friend. I totally hear you. Unfortunately, we're not using OBS. There's an extension for OBS that allows you to do that. And we might go back to OBS. There's this kind of thinking that we may want to move away from Restream or StreamYard because it allows you to be more flexible. So I'm really sorry. But it will be on YouTube afterwards, and therefore you can watch it. Copper Beardy is hosting our stream with 4 viewers. Thank you for doing that, sir. We always appreciate being hosted and shared. So thanks everyone for joining. Now I put the Hackathon website up. If you haven't signed up, you still have a chance to do it. In fact, you have a chance to do it until Monday, right?
Yeah, we found that out. So it's probably not recommended to wait until Monday to sign up, but you have flexibility. So if you haven't yet registered, if you want to kind of poke around a bit before you fully commit, you have the capacity to do it.
So I'm going to put the link for the hackathon here. The hackathon. We need to add some commands here through Stream Elements, but for now I'm going to place it here. Still have a chance to sign up. We're officially kicking it off today. So as of 8 o'clock this morning, the submissions are open. So if you've already done your project, you can submit it. But I would say wait until Monday if you have any questions or you want to tweak it. And because there are criteria, right? We're going to be judging you on things like, what are the criteria? Yeah, completeness, user experience, creativity, and presentation. So you might want to tweak the UI. Don't leave it as a default.
You should plug the swag too, because the winner actually gets time with our engineering team.
So much swag, right? We have cash prizes, which is great, and then we extended it to 5 winners, not just 3 winners that we had in the beginning.
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh
so
man, it just doesn't say it properly because, oh yeah, the way I'm sharing the screen, it doesn't like it because
that's
it's
why.
cutting half of it off.
Yeah.
I wanted to keep us big, you know? But let's,
Yeah, share.
how
You can
about
share
that?
it big for a second. There you go.
Yeah,
Share it big for a second,
make it
and then
full
folks can
screen.
see. Because I think the cool part is if you get first place, you get an hour with the engineering team, and they're
Yeah.
actually pretty stoked to work with people in the broader community as it stands. And so this is an awesome opportunity. And then if you're a Microsoft employee, we have even opened it up for Microsoft employees. You just don't get this swag. You get a different type of swag. It's a 425
Yeah.
show swag, which is not terrible, right? It's still really awesome swag. But we had to
Right,
make
look
that
about
designation,
look at this beautiful
right?
Nalgene bottle. This is like $20 worth of plastic over here.
We've got stickers, we've got
But it is
shirts.
limited edition. Oh yeah, we have the stickers. Should I show the stickers? Do you guys
Yeah,
want to
show
see
the
the
stickers.
stickers?
Show the stickers.
Because we haven't done anything with the stickers in a while, right?
No, but I
Like we
think this was an
haven't.
opportunity to at least give it out in the event that somebody from Microsoft does win. So we wanted to be super inclusive, but because we can't give Microsoft
Well,
employees these cash prizes, we had to give them different types of swag. See, look at that. Put that
or
on your
if you
laptop.
come to the show, these are all limited edition. Like we're the only ones that possess this. So we have even a B2C for our friends that work with B2C. We have what's it? This one, Azure AD.
Look at that.
Back in the good old days when I used to go to conferences in person, I would give them out. And I would
Nice.
always forget I had them with me, and then at the end, I was like, shit, I've been carrying all the stickers with me, and I forgot to give them away.
Yeah. I would be that way, or I would give too many at the beginning and I'd have none at the end. So I never like figured out the right ratio of stickers
Yeah.
to people you interacted with.
Yeah, you get so hung up with presenting that you forget about, giving and interacting.
Right.
So,
So I see a comment here in the chat. We got, is it Sarvar? He wants to participate, but he has no idea how to develop. So
oh, okay.
I'll tell you what. I just play a developer on TV, right? Like I never did development work until everything turned software defined, and now I'm hitting REST APIs like Christos. So I make the joke often that I play a developer on TV. You could still join and stand up the sample
Yes.
applications. It's a
Yep.
super interesting. You'll learn a ton in the process. You'll learn a ton about the flow of the way that everything works, and you'll get a chance to set something up that might be a little bit outside of your normal comfort zone.
Yep.
So you can still join and you can
Yes.
still set everything up. And if you run into problems, we've got folks that can give you some answers. So
And
don't
very,
feel like
very
you have to be a
important,
developer.
tell them about the video. Put the playlist on the chat.
Oh
It's
yes.
4to5.show/playlist. So the first two episodes in the playlist cover the generals of the principles of decentralized identity and verifiable credentials. But last was it Tuesday, right? This Tuesday, me
This
and
past
Shannon
Tuesday.
spent a whole hour and a half, but we were chatting a lot. We spent about an hour. We spent about an hour actually setting up everything from scratch. So if
Correct.
you just want to follow the video and do exactly what we did, you should be able to stand everything up from the ground up. You don't have to have any knowledge. The only thing that we didn't show as part of the setting everything up was downloading maybe the .NET SDK or your Node runtime to run the sample, because I already
Yeah.
had .NET. All I did was download the sample and run it. So this is the only bit that we haven't done. However, if you want to set it up and have any questions, we have a very active Discord community, which I'm putting on the chat right now. So make sure to join our Discord community, and there you can find help from other people. I am
Yeah.
sharing the link to Discord, and I've shared the link to the playlist just above. But if you're just joining now, Justice 221. I love Justice 221. I love the number. What does 221 mean? Sorry, I'm just being pedantic. So yeah, the hackathon is alive and well. We have 520 people. I think 140 of them are Microsoft employees. I was very
Wow.
surprised by the number.
Yeah, I think this is the hot tech right now, right?
Uh-huh.
So, and the fact that it's in public preview, we've
Yep.
got a lot of folks who haven't had an opportunity to go in and build something just yet with the
Exactly.
customer. So
Exactly.
this will give them a chance to go in and build something and then work with the customer on a real true pilot type
Yes. Yeah.
build.
And while you're at it, we do have a QR code. Make sure you scan it so you can see the flow of of the verifiable credentials. There's an issuance that happens first. So we issue the VC to you, and then there is a verification process, which is the second step. And we did discuss about that many times throughout this month, that not everyone will be issuing verifiable credentials.
Correct.
In most cases, they will be verifying them. But
Yes.
for the purpose of the hackathon, you'll probably want to do both. It makes your life a lot easier to do both because you control the whole flow.
Yeah.
Cool. Now, what should we do next?
Well, we have to move the application that we have up at the moment to a
Correctamento.
different subscription.
Yeah, indeed.
So,
Do I go back to, where should I go? Azure AD or
well, first we should. So you stood up a pay-as-you-go subscription
we
the
did?
other day, didn't you?
Yes.
Do you want to just move that into the 425 show? Well, I guess it would be tenant.
We can?
Do you want to?
Yes, how do we do that? Do you know how to do
So let's go to the YXZ. No, yeah, that
Yes.
one. Go that one.
that? Uh-huh.
Actually, hang on. I think. Oh yeah, skip for now.
I like how it says 14 days. It's consistent 40 days. Even though we set it up on Tuesday, it still says 14 days.
Yeah. So let's see.
In perpetuity, 14 days for every time you sign in. Please do
So
not
let's
do that.
see.
Set up MFA for your accounts. We're just
Right.
skipping it because we are lazy. No, we're not lazy. We're just want to be simple. But lazy is what actually gets you in terms of security. Did you hear the C++ bug that was found on Linux that affects every
No.
Linux distro from like 15 years ago?
Oh geez.
Yes.
Oh geez.
Because obviously they have access to memory because, it's not managed, it's unmanaged. So you have to allocate it, deallocate it with C++, and therefore somebody found a way into root user on every system.
Oof.
Yes, bring it on. So what we're
All
doing
right. So
now...
go to.
Yeah,
Oh,
go
go
on.
ahead. Go.
No,
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 go ahead. You were in the middle of
I
something.
was going to say, we're going to move the subscription to the 4 to 5 show Azure Active Directory, right? So we can
Correct.
use it
Correct.
for our solution. And our solution is sitting actually at 45. So if you scan the QR code, it will take you to 45show.com. Check us out. We got the best domain, 45show.com.
Yep. And this is this QR code that's over on this side, it'll take you to this website. So we're actually going to swap this though, because we need to clean up where this lives. We need to move it into a different subscription. So, so we thought, you know what, we needed to come up with something for the show today. Why don't we move the subscription, redeploy the app, right? And in theory, get this stood up pretty quickly. So it'll be a little bit of live on the fly. I'm sure there's going to be some stuff that breaks, but
We're here to
that's
break,
what we're here for.
break some eggs and make an omelet.
Exactly. We're here to break it. We're here to fix it.
So we'll fix the DNS. Actually, no, we're going to move our website, the 45show.com, from one subscription to another. And to do that, we have a nifty GitHub action. So please do not deploy manually stuff like that, because now we can easily change our code to deploy somewhere else.
Correct.
Is it DID
verifiable
hackathon?
credential. No, it's verifiable
Oh,
credential.
yeah. So many samples. We need to clean up our repository at some point. And then in here under GitHub, we have an action, workflows. And then we have an action, DID demo, that deploys to a specific subscription. Now, this one is going to change, obviously, because we need to deploy them to a different subscription.
Correct.
Oh, we need,
Correct.
oh God, we need to set up, did we have, no, I think we use a service principal, not federated identity.
We did.
We did.
So the service principal should be able to be used inside the new subscription because that lives in Azure Active Directory. We're just going to add a subscription so we can move that key vault over, the app service, and what else? The storage account.
Yes. I agree.
So
few
we
things to do.
should so first things first, we should move that new subscription that you built out within that environment. So go to subscriptions. And if you click on that, you should see a transfer button at the top. Or no, sorry, it's change directory. That's what it is.
Cancel subscription. No.
We don't want to cancel it.
Change directory.
I think it's change directory. Now
Let me make it bigger so our friends can see. So we are changing the subscription from one directory to a different directory. Oh, cannot change directory because you only have access to one directory.
Oh, you're gonna have to add yourself in as a
As a guest.
well, yeah, a guest account, but you're gonna have to give yourselves rights, and you might need contributor rights to be able to transfer it, or ownership rights. This is where, because we don't do this very often, like I always kind of forget the flow.
It's fine. We'll
So
find
we can go into the Azure Active Directory environment and invite your other account in.
The portal.azure.com, but I need to sign in as what? Do you remember what that sign in?
It's your ZXY. No, it's the first one.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, this Azure
so
Active
you have
Directory.
to add. Yeah, you have to add. Right? Or do you? Oh gosh, you know what? Maybe no. You know what? We have to go to the 425
I told
Azure
you
Active
so.
Directory.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No, it's fine.
I'm gonna suck down some more coffee and hopefully wake up.
So I can't remember which account. I think I used my Gmail account to sign into that one, right?
I think so. Yeah, that sounds right.
So Simola Gaming says you don't need that project info there, right? You're supposed to get it from Language Match. What is that about? Smola, please let me know, because I think we moved on from where you were and I lost track. Christos, you'll need to move the screen a bit. It showed your mobile last time. It did? Yeah, it did show my mobile. I mean,
did you get like random text messages?
I haven't so far.
Places?
Thank you for respecting my privacy. Why can I not use my Microsoft Authenticator right now? Oh.
Do you have a phone by you?
It just forgot to notify me.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm signed in. So, is that a different one?
You can send another request. Yeah, send another request.
Send me so many requests. Okay. Still waiting for it. Happy time zone, Bolt. You're logged in, so it showed your number. You said to remind you. What? Oh, there you go.
Approve it. There you go.
I can use my approve.
No. It should just go. Don't click on that. You should just be able to approve it.
Yeah.
There you go.
It just took a while. Right.
All right. So now go into your Azure Active Directory and then invite the Christos Limited account.
XYZ, blah, blah, right?
Yeah, whatever that is.
This one.
The Y62VX. I'm never going to forget that.
No.
I will totally forget that.
Who would ever forget that? So users, then add a new guest user, right?
Yep.
And then invite user.
Yep.
Christos. There you go. It doesn't have the at. Christos. Did you know that my arrows, the left and right arrow, don't work inside Teams? And I was freaking out that my keyboard was broken.
Oh no. I've had weird stuff like that happen too. So that's good to know, because I thought I had to reboot my computer, so I rebooted it and then never checked anything out after the fact. So
yeah. So this user should be what? Do we need to change it?
You may want to give them. You may want to give them. It's you. You may want to give that account.
You may want to give them.
You may want to give them. You may want. Well, so that's where it gets a little wonky, and we'd have to go dig into the documentation. Give that account a contributor right, just to be on the safe side, because I know that you should be able to transfer that subscription over.
Yes. So how do we give them assign roles?
Well, that's going to be Azure Active Directory, which we should give them. We should give an assignment.
Eligible assignments. What?
Oh, that's right. This has privileged identity access management.
Who can I blame for that?
Remove that. Why don't we go into the 425 show Azure environment? We can just transfer. We can add them in on the subscription front, or add that account in.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah, there's two layers of access in Azure, right? There's your Azure Active Directory
roles. So I'm signing in as
your Azure roles.
My Gmail account to that subscription, right?
Correct. Yep.
It's not gonna be messy at all. I've got like 4 different sign-in users now. So let's see what happens.
I know.
And I'm working under my work profile. So the fact that it hasn't really blown up yet, it's impressive.
All of the right tokens are being passed correctly. We said something now though, so it's gonna totally break.
I spoke too early. But it does try to find the 45 so on Microsoft.com. No, there you go. It did it.
Okay,
right.
Cool.
Subscriptions?
Yep, go to subscriptions and then give that YXZ thing.
That
Give that account contributor rights to that subscription, and you should be able. I think.
Wait.
Let me
add.
Yeah.
Checking your offer eligibility. Oh. 28
I'm
minutes
looking it
in.
up on the back end. Make sure.
Please click here to switch to. No, I don't want to switch directory.
Okay, so
do you
maybe
need to
that's
take
not
over,
how.
maybe?
No, let's see.
Your
This
list
is
of
where it gets a little
subscriptions for which
wonky.
you have role-based access.
We could always just add another pay-as-you-go subscription in here and then deal with some of this after the fact. Because it's one of those things, you usually set it up once, and because you only set it up once and things continue to change, you always sort of forget how to do it.
So what we're trying to do now is we take the XYZ subscription that we have and then move it to this directory, right?
Yep. And I think actually we need to do it. Yeah, because prepare the transfer the subscription. Yeah, it looks like we need to do it inside of Azure Active Directory. So we do need to go figure out the privileged identity access management stuff that JP set up.
Oh, the PIM?
Yeah, he set up PIM for the 425 show.
Identity governance, is it?
Try it. I forget where it shows up in here. If you can't find it in there, you can definitely find it in the Azure portal too.
Where's Daniel when you need him?
Right. That might not be it. Let's see.
What is it? I don't see anything. I am under Azure Active Directory, right? Custom domain, signing, monitoring, troubleshooting. I don't see anything about PIM here.
I think it might be separate. So you may have to go to the actual Azure portal and open it up from there.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, so I'm going into the 425 show directory as well.
Do you want to take over because you're an owner of that? Whereas I'm a guest?
Possible. Hang on. Let's see something here. I gotta log in.
You're seeing a developer struggling with subscriptions and privileges. That's my life.
Okay.
That's my life when I have to work with IT pros.
All right, so I have this going. Let's see. Share screen.
And I'll answer mine.
Okay. And let's do this. I will make it a little bit bigger. So privileged identity access management. So my roles, my requests. Let's see. Azure AD
That's real life. Exactly one GS360. That's real life.
Summons.
This is what happens when you have to work for a big enterprise. And then, I mean, imagine, right? You have to raise a new request to your IT department to add your new subscription.
So hang on.
In the tenant. Months. Takes months.
My roles. I'm going to activate this for my account.
Grant TNT, how are you? By the way, you're not sharing, so you're doing things in the background.
Oh, I thought it. Oh, you know what? It's there now. Sorry.
It's fine.
Sorry.
Happens to the best of us.
So 45 show stream.
We're too small over here.
I miss. Is it too small? Let me make it bigger.
No, as in we are too small, and we're behind the QR code. I miss our good days of using OBS. Do you guys want us to go back to OBS to have like more real estate, and then we are in the corner like we used to be with JP? Let us know because we've been lazy with Restream. Sorry, what are we doing? Oh, you're doing it.
Well, I'm activating Global Administrator for my account.
Oh, yes.
So.
Yeah. So thanks everyone for joining us this morning. We hope that you're all set up for the hackathon and geared up and excited to win these prizes. Also excited to be able to work with us and our engineering team. We see a lot of messages happening and taking place on our on our Discord. So, yeah.
So I think it's active. Let's go back here. Let's go into here. Actually, we could just verify. I can go into verifiable credentials. We're good.
Oh, we are?
Okay, yeah, so I've got it. All right, cool. So I've got global administrator rights. Let's go in. Let's see. To go to Azure AD. No.
I suspect that you'll need my domain name at some point, so I'll put it in the chat.
Correct. Let's see.
But you're not member of that directory. It's always fun.
Eligible. See, this is one of those things where I actually, it's been a bit since I've done this. Let's see. So these are my roles. Let's see. Let's assign.
Should we check the documentation?
Actually, conversely, you could just add me. Why don't you do this? This might be easier and faster.
Okay.
Switch back to your screen.
Switching back.
Add my Microsoft account in
here?
I will. Yeah, add into the Azure Active Directory. Sorry, the Azure Active Directory. Add that in as a guest.
Yep, that's not the right one. I think this is a subscription, and I'm not in the right Azure Active Directory. So let's spin another tab. Why not? aad.portal.azure.com. Please ask me to sign in and don't take it. Yeah, perfect. And I will add you here.
Because this might be easier. Because I noticed that we're going to have to probably fix some of the privileged identity management stuff. And I just haven't had a chance to fix it in our tenant. So it is fine. We will figure it out, right?
See, you get 2 in 1. You get privileged PIM, and you get privileged access management, and you have DNS Shenanigans. I mean, we haven't even touched the OC. Fine. Yet another ID here. That's lovely. Oh, man. 2FA. Couldn't escape it.
Nope.
Okay, it's here. Next. Don't forgo 2FA. Should be approved now. Done. Now I'm taking this off. Although it's too late. I mean, you can always go back and check the previous stream. Please don't do that.
Well, yeah. Let me do this too.
Now I'm getting a text as well. All for... Yes. I mean, I rely on your good faith to not screw me up, right? 1, 2,
hang on a second.
5. I've doxed myself 4 times so far. Done and done. Okay, we're in. All your data belongs to us. Yeah, I know. Like if I start to receive spam calls, then I know who to blame. I am in. So do you want me to invite you in as a user?
So yeah,
right?
invite me in as a user.
New
I might need a specific account to do it, but
name Sanam Kuhn.
It's Keen.
Well, in my pronunciation, so I can remember how to do it. But yeah, you're Keen. You're Keen in my heart. How about that?
Try SH.
Oh, your alias?
KUEHN. Yeah, try that at Microsoft. So now people know how to reach me at Microsoft. I can't guarantee that I'm going to get back to you fast because Microsoft does like to drown us in email.
Yes.
Instead of spam, I get Secret Santa stuff. That would be cool.
Wait, you got Secret Santa?
No, that's what Grumpf TNT had mentioned.
Oh, who knows? Maybe instead of spam, you get Secret Santa stuff. Hey, we're all for giveaways.
Awesome.
Look at all my friends here.
So,
my company's growing fast.
So I am in this, right? So let me refresh.
Christos Limited is growing fast. I'm going to add a domain name here. Oh no, we're moving everything to the 45. So.
There we go. So there we go.
Ready. Yep.
Got to accept the invitation.
So member. Can I change the permissions for you here? Oh, there you go. I can assign you. So I can make you an owner, right?
I just skipped.
Global administrator.
Yeah, do it for
your account. Your guest account.
Yeah, do it from my guest account. Do it temporarily, and then I should be able to, let's see.
Does it take time to refresh? Oh, there you go. Okay. Took a little bit of time to propagate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so cool. So I should be in now. If you want to flip back to my screen, yeah, let me refresh and let me see if it shows up.
Oh, interesting. If we have both of them up, then thank you, Stream.
All directories.
Making my life easier. So we're in the process now of switching a subscription from my Azure Active Directory tenant to the 4.5 so directory tenant.
Correct.
Oh, that means that we don't really have to worry about changing the Azure Active Directory settings for the verifiable credentials and all.
That's why I was thinking
redeploy.
Let's the path of least resistance, right?
Love it.
Okay.
Thank you, Shannon.
So let's go into subscriptions.
Mm-hmm.
I need to get access to that subscription too. Flip back to you and give me contributor rights to the. Because remember, I was like, I think you need the subscription. So it turns out you need both. The things you don't remember because you only do this like once in a blue moon.
Once in like 20 years because you don't switch subscriptions frequently. So what do we do here?
So flip back to your screen, and you just need to give me contributor rights to that subscription temporarily. So go into the subscription. And then go to IAM.
Oh, wait a minute.
That blade.
I'm in the wrong subscription.
Oh.
I mean, that's the one we need. That's
correct.
The
Azure Subscription 1.
Yeah.
Yep.
So that's the subscription. And then under here, we have some users, I guess. Cost, security.
And it should be IAM, maybe towards the top.
Access policies, access control.
Access control,
you're absolutely right. Fine, I'll sign in again. Who knows? Maybe instead of so that's still there. That's real life. Let us know.
Man,
have you guys done it before? Has anybody done it before?
Yeah, the hard part is we have a number of different accounts that are sort of intertwined together, and then a lot of stuff is tied to our Microsoft account, which makes it really difficult. So yeah, contributors should give me rights to be able to transfer. So if you just want to give me contributor versus owner. There you go. Perfect.
Also, we had difficulty assigning my Microsoft account to the 45, so we had to go with the Gmail account, right?
We did, and it's one of those things we should document some of this better, but we're just like, whatever, rip it and run. We got to go. We got to. Time is money.
We have some code to run. I don't care about how I run it. Just give me a platform to run it. You're done. You're a contributor now.
Okay, so let's see. I'm going to refresh my.
Take some time to reflect.
Okay, so if you want to flip back over to me, I can walk through. So you go into the. So now I'm in the Y62VX.
Ooh,
and I'm going to burn through that $200.
Oh yeah, let's spin up some Kubernetes and blockchains.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, so it won't let me change the directory. Okay, make me an owner. Make me an owner.
Told you.
Make me an owner. Here we are trying to do this
the right way.
Yep, and I think I need to be owner. Sorry.
That's fine. I'm just doing that now. So while you're seeing Sun on screen there, I'm doing exactly the same thing, but I'm adding owner.
You see that I should be able to change directory. I may need to be owner. And again, it's one of those things where it's like, we do this.
You might also need to sign out and sign back in again because the permissions have not been reflected. But I've added you as an owner now, so you might want to refresh and see what happens. We'll fix it in production. Exactly, code with Sean. That's how we... No, please don't. We're not fixing it in production. These are all test tenants. We're not messing with any production stuff. And
let me
that's not
change the directory.
He won't let you change the directory.
All right,
you sign out and sign in again?
I'll sign out.
Fun times, right?
Yeah.
But
this proves we're doing this live, so...
It's not scripted, folks. It's not scripted. What you see here is live. Turning off and on fixes everything in IT.
It does. I wish it didn't, but it does.
It does. Phones, laptops, PCs, dog food. Yeah, we're dog fooding our own stuff.
Let's see. So let me do this.
Enjoying the experience of playing with subscriptions and permissions.
I'm going to go into here. So by default, and I don't know if folks know this, we get a different view. I should show the public portal. is what we see, because sometimes we see stuff that never makes it to the public portal. That used to get me in trouble with customers. So I learned, and now I just go to the public portal. All right, so we're in here. Let's go to, hang on, I want to go to.
If it doesn't let us do it, we'll call today. And thank you everyone for joining us.
Yeah, and listen, watch us try to do this, right? All directories, I've got that, here we go, switch to here.
Dun, dun, dun. The moment of truth.
Okay, I'm skipping this again. Don't do this in real life. Eventually do 2FA.
See, I had to give in and actually set up my 2FA.
Okay.
All right, fingers crossed, everyone.
Let's see, can we transfer it? Yes, we can. Yes. Change directories.
See, I told you had to sign out and sign in again. If it didn't work, we had to restart Azure. Sorry, guys. You might have some downtime on Azure, but we have to fix the subscription.
Okay, so the one thing we're probably going to have to fix a little bit of, Christos, is there might be some pieces of this that don't want to work right when we switch the app. But
such as deploying services.
Right. So we may actually have to move this. So this is going to take a little bit of time. Okay, so it's now it should now be reflected. If you want to, or let's see, hang on. I guess I could flip back to switch directory.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the 425 show.
Right. So I can close everything else other than the 425 show, right?
What do you mean, close everything up?
So I have the Azure Active Directory for the 425 show. I think we can forget the XYZ now, right?
Yes, correct.
No,
correct.
Wait a minute. We need to use the XYZ now with the new Azure Active Directory.
Well, so we have transferred the subscription. So
correct.
Now the subscription should show up in here. And it looks like it's going to take a little bit.
You might have a filter, right? Do you have a filter? Check the...
It might take a bit.
Sometimes,
yeah, sometimes that's just the nature of the beast.
So in the meantime, I can open the app and see what we need to change, right?
Yeah, why don't you do that? I will work on making sure that the subscription. So let's start doing some of that. And I don't know if you want to make that a little bit bigger. That might make sense for the folks.
I'll make it bigger.
There you go.
Absolutely. Let us know if you can see stuff. Let us know if you can see all our secrets. And I'm just kidding. So we don't have any secrets. Joke on you, because we're using Key Vault. Right. And the reason why we're using Key Vault is because we didn't want to put any secrets here. I have to say, though, that if you don't want to use secrets, you can definitely use a certificate. And that's the way to do it, usually. In production, we recommend people using certificates. But because we are using this for the purpose of the demos and for other people that may be downloading this to run as part of the hackathon, I wanted to keep it simple. And you can switch on and off the Key Vault, right? If you don't want to use Key Vault for secrets, you can switch it off. And then it will actually look into your app settings. So if you really want to hard code stuff, not recommend again, we talked about it a lot of times, you can switch off Key Vault and go directly here. Now, there is a Key Vault name somewhere, if I remember correctly.
There is.
There's a Key Vault name, which is down here.
Yeah.
We need to change that.
And no, actually, we're gonna move that to the new subscription. You can move a Key Vault, can't you?
No.
Oh, I thought you could.
No, you can't move resources.
Well, you can move quite a bit of resources. That's why I thought you could move the Key Vault.
We can try.
We could always try, right?
So can you move resources from one?
Yeah. What is it? Azure Resource Mover moves a lot of stuff like VMs and disks and stuff. I don't know if you can do Key Vault.
I don't think you can do Key Vault because it has HSMs right attached to it. And if you choose to use a hardware secured, was it like HSM?
Well, yeah, so it's technically HSM Lite, but there is like a product that you could deploy that you get your own dedicated HSM. When I worked with customers, I worked with a couple of customers that were spearheading that initiative and kind of testing some of that out.
So I am in my, I am confused now, which subscription? So this is the 45 show subscription. Let me see the other subscription, which is this one, dashboard. So in here, I don't have anything, but in the 45 show subscription, we do have resources. So if I go back home, then we do have the 4 to 5 show Key Vault. So what do I do? A mover, Am I looking for mover?
Yeah, well, so we have to make sure the subscription shows up. So that's the
Yes,
thing that's
yes.
still not showing up just yet here. Let's see. And this is the one thing. How long does it take?
I thought you could move it, just not the location. Okay, well, we can definitely give it a go. I mean, it will make our life a lot easier because I don't remember
Because
my settings.
you can imagine all those customers over the years that were like, I have to redeploy this. No,
Yes.
I'm not doing it. So they know that there's a lot more flexibility now related to moving things.
Uh-huh. Well, technically, infrastructure can be redeployed, right?
Always.
It's the values, and I mean, if you have a key vault with thousands of secrets, then it makes sense to actually move the key vault with all its history and the auditing rather
Yeah.
than redeploying key vault. But as developers, as infrastructure people, as DevOps, we need to make sure that your infrastructure is redeployable. Right now, we haven't really captured infrastructure as code. We only deploy the code to production, to our production environment. But ideally, you should have a process in place that allows you to do disaster recovery and be able to move from one location to another. Maybe we should do a DevOps session at some point.
So I
go on.
just read, so it could take up to 10 minutes. So we could have a 10-minute filler. So then I guess maybe, you know what we
Let's
should
check
do?
the code and see what else we have there, right?
Well,
Because
or we could showcase how we made everything be verifiable in the sense of it's a trusted domain. Because
yeah,
if you follow the tutorials right now that are published for decentralized identity, you're
yes,
going to get this website is risky because
correct.
you don't have a certificate, right?
Yep,
Justice and I worked on this and we got everything to be verified. And it might make sense to
correct.
kind of showcase where that shows up in the code. And then we can walk
Mm-hmm.
through that flow of what an end user would see while we wait for that
Yeah,
subscription transfer.
yeah, sounds good. So in the code in here, there's nothing that, I mean, it's all the Authenticator app and the settings in Azure Active Directory. And sorry, the settings inside your DNS and the settings inside your Azure Web App, because we're using an Azure Web App, but it's nowhere in the code. So the code doesn't really have a knowledge of what's happening. You also notice that here I have my hard-coded settings for the callback URL. So when I run locally, it uses ngrok, but when we run in production, it replaces these through the GitHub workflow. So my GitHub workflow, it does actually populate these values. And there's a nifty action inside GitHub. Did you know that? There's an action inside GitHub that, there's a task. It's a job. Wait a minute, what do you call it? Is this a task? I think this is a task. So
I
update
think
app
you're right.
settings, and there's a Microsoft variable substitution, and you say which file you want to change, and then you pass them in here. Because I didn't want to put them in an app setting inside my web app. I wanted them to be in the app settings file. You can do that. It's amazing. And then it just builds and deploys. And yeah, it uses the I'm using an app. Oh, you know what? I went the other way around. I deployed my app first. I can't remember how I deployed it. And then I got the GitHub Action set up for me from Azure Web Apps. I went the other way around. Rather than building my job and then
Oh,
deploying, I went to the
okay.
website. This is amazing, right? Because I was like, what exactly do I need to do? And then I tweaked it obviously to meet my needs. But if we go to the 4 to 5 show dashboard, which should be this one. No, it's this one. And then if we go to resources, our DID demo, just thinking about it now. You broke it, Sanan. You broke the
I think I
subscription.
did. We haven't done anything yet with the subscription transfer. So thankfully, I did just find the Microsoft Authenticator app,
Uh-huh.
and I'm trying to download it on my machine so that way we can, because you know
Test
how
it.
like it's hard to show it for whatever reason
Yes.
from a security perspective.
Yes.
I
I
run
think
Android.
Android is easy to plug in and then project to the screen. iOS is like, no.
Yeah. So
So,
there is a desktop app. I'm working on getting
uh-huh.
that situated while Christos shows what we changed in the code to make this be a trusted URL.
Uh-huh. Oh, interesting. Interesting. So if you come in here and say, I want to set up my deployment center, it will say which GitHub repo do you want to use, and then it will create a GitHub action for you. It's amazing
Hmm.
that you can go this way. Because I was like, what's the right setting? How should I do it? And then I came back into my GitHub repo and tweaked my settings to make sure I have the right .NET version. which is 6.0, by the way. We're using the latest.
Okay.
I think the samples are using 5. And everything else is perfect. Like publish, deploy, took a little bit, done and done. Okay, so the only thing that we need to change, I guess, is when we deploy the website, we'll need to change the DID demo. We'll have to give it a new name, DID demo 2.
Yeah, we can do that.
In here, we had the DNS settings, right? So TLS, SSL
Yeah, and I don't know.
settings.
And there was a little bit of funkiness I had to do with Cloudflare, but that it was pretty straightforward.
So we added a TLS. It actually gives you the instructions on how to do it. You didn't have to upload the private certificate. Oh, that's the
you do.
Cloudflare.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, cool.
You do from Cloudflare. So, and Cloudflare was
yes.
so you know how like App Service has a lot of interesting stuff each time you play with it with each one of the registrars. Cloudflare has its own flavor of it.
Yes, it does. And then we had to get a special exception from Microsoft because the domain name was registered with Microsoft, and good luck changing the name servers.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Look, it's what, 3 weeks? 3 weeks back and forth?
Yeah, and I think
begging,
it was.
please.
I mean, I'm glad they let us do it because it was going to be a little funky if they didn't let us do it.
Yes.
So,
I mean, there's a reason why Microsoft does that, because they want to manage everything through the Microsoft name servers. But then again, making changes to those servers is like you have to raise a ticket, and it takes 2 days for the SLA, and then you might have screwed something up, and then have to go back and ask something else. And oh yes, I'm running out of breath just talking about it.
so
Anything yet?
now how did you expose? So remember, we had to do some stuff with decentralized identity. So remember how? Let's see. I don't know if you want to flip over to me
Sure.
real quick.
Flipping now.
Okay, so there's organizational settings, right? And then there is verify this domain.
You did all that. You did all
I
the
did.
magic.
And so you
Yes.
see how verifying. So what this does is it allows you. So let's take a
Oh,
second.
did we add this to the code? They did say you have to.
You did add this in the code. Yeah, remember how you exposed it so
I
that we
did.
were able to.
Yes.
Yeah. So it says this, right? So verifying a domain will help your users trust your organization is authentic. So what happens is when you set this up with maybe the tutorial, you might pick, whatever your domain is. So Shannon.com, right? But that's not what I have the app running on. And so you want to make sure it's a verified domain versus a not verified domain, because what you'll see is a different workflow. And so what you'll do here is you will take this little bit of data here. This is a configuration file.
Yep.
And I think it's just a JSON, right?
It is JSON, yeah.
Yeah. So let's see if this opens. Yes.
I did something very nifty, and I'm very proud of doing it myself. So I will show you how I did it with .NET 6 and minimal APIs, but Sandra will show you the
let's
JSON
see.
first.
Oh my gosh, I literally have this on. Let me move it over here.
Okay. Oh, is it secret?
No, it's not secret. It's just I'm not on my machine I'm normally on. That's why I'm like, oh gosh, like I have this all set up differently.
Yes.
So it's what you get for traveling, right? So downloads.
That's your punishment.
That's my punishment.
Hey, I don't think I can work on a laptop anymore. Like after having 3 screens up and running, it's insanely hard to imagine just having to work from a single screen.
So I do trust it. Now this is the configuration file, right? So it's got the long. I don't know. How can I make this bigger? View.
What are you using?
Visual Studio.
Visual Studio or Visual Studio Code? It's Control Plus.
That's what it is. Okay, so.
God, it's the biggest secret in development life. Control Plus.
There we go.
There you go.
Okay, so we're good. So this has that long ion info.
Bolt is saying, I've never seen anyone using VS Code without being in dark mode. What is this?
Well, so the background of this is I did another stream at one point and somebody complained that they didn't like the dark mode. And so I just left it on. This is the PowerShell ISE skin. Is that what they call it now? Or the I don't know. Do they still call it that? Like, I don't know. I feel like that's a little not so woke these days. But yeah, so you see it's this is the context.
Blasphemy, says Grant TNT. It's blasphemy. And then somebody says, let's burn your eyes. There's an amazing TikTok where one developer just opens the IDE and they forgot that they hadn't mode and just, fall
It'll
backwards.
it'll blind you. It'll blind
Yes.
you. So hopefully you have eyes after this stream.
Yeah.
It goes to show you I haven't used this machine in Visual Studio Code for a bit. So my apologies. Get some Visine, put the drops in.
Excuses. All I hear is excuses, Shannon. How can you be a developer without having your developer environment set up properly?
I just play a developer on TV. No, it was literally one of those things where somebody said, I can't see what you're doing. And I said, okay, should I make this lighter? And they said, yes, please. And I just never turned it back. So it's dark on my main machine. So now
Where are your custom fonts with ligatures, Shannon? How can you even call yourself an IT person? This is unacceptable. Ligatures. Okay, I'm just kidding. So, Mr. Extremely is on the chat saying, "Good day. Thank you for joining us. It's lovely to have you here." We have a couple of other questions while you do that. So, Mosiko777, too many sevens. Wired question: do you have teams that work on Macs natively with .NET environments? We actually do, and I have done streams using my Mac. So, not very common, but everything we do and we're showing you here, you can do with a Mac. And yes, we do have teams at Microsoft that work natively on Macs or test on Macs to make sure that things are working. Even on M1s now, we made sure that the .NET runtime works on an M1. And Straight Rogue. Oh my God, I'm getting better at reading names. Straight Rogue says, I was given a hard time at work because I have to use dark mode on everything now. Hey, I like dark mode because it's easy to my eyes, but it's preferences, personal preferences.
Yeah, and I was gonna say on my main machine it is dark mode. It's just I've been traveling and I forgot about that it was still on the light mode from when somebody was complaining about a stream I did about a year and a half ago, and I was like, okay, I'll make it bright, super bright, so that there's never a confusion, right? But yeah, so
now if you do edit, you can actually format JSON or format section. I think there's also a keyboard, so you can show the different values.
Yeah, so so I'm not super savvy with keyboard shortcuts.
No, but I think you can select that and then under edit or right click on that, you can do format or something. Format, document format section. Yeah, control C, control blah. Go on.
So format document or format selection?
Both should work. Yay! Okay.
So there you go. So we're seeing the actual JSON. That's what shows up in the documentation. The DID is that long bit of info, right? So this is what. So then you host this in this location. Let me just open up Notepad real quick here. So you have to host it here. So 425.show /.wellknown/did-configuration.json. So when I told Christos we should probably do this so that we could have that fully functioning kind of enterprise feel. Christos, you plugged it in somewhere, and I actually never checked out where you put this. So do you want to flip back and showcase what you did?
Let me take over. Thank you so much.
Sure.
So because we're using .NET 6, we have top-level domain, global usings, and it becomes a lot easier. You also notice that we don't have a main.cs, so everything starts, so not main, it's program.cs with a main. We're entering here. And then because it's nicer working in .NET 6, I could actually expose an endpoint with a well-known DID configuration. What is expected from the decentralized identity is that you have an endpoint in your application. So whatever your domain is, Christos Limited, /, and then you need to have a /.wellknown DID configuration JSON that gets exposed. So when DID calls back, they know that it's a verified domain that maps to your verifiable credential service. So this one is an endpoint that actually exposes the DID stuff. And then here I put the stuff in a file. So this is what Shannon was showing you. And then if I go back in the DID well-known endpoint service, all I do is actually read that file and stream it back as a JSON to the API. So going back to my program.cs. So we do have program, we don't have startup.cs. Sorry, it's been a long day. It's like yeah, exactly. So Mr. Extremely, that's exactly right. In .NET, like Node now, you can do app map get or map post or map delete, and it allows you to easily expose things. So rather than having a controller that does all that, you can expose it at the root of your middleware. So this middleware does all the funky stuff. And we also have another API endpoint here that gets the credential types. And we need to do that because we added some explanation on our website that says, hey, if you are going to download, where's our website? Yeah, so here you see the credential issued. We wanted to explain what it is when you actually get one of these credentials. So some JavaScript magic and then some .NET middleware magic through .NET 6, which is lovely. And I have a whole blog, I have a whole talk actually that explains how to do secure APIs with this middleware. So rather than you having to create controllers and so on, are you configuring a full domain? Yeah, we're configuring the full domain once we manage to get everything switched over. Where are we, Shannon?
So do you want to walk through what the flow looks like? Because I still don't see the subscription. The subscription is no longer in your other tenant, the Y62VX, but it still doesn't show up in the 425 tenant. So maybe what we do is we just
we orphaned it.
Yeah, I hope we didn't. I mean, if we did, we did, and we'll figure it out after the fact.
So we need to deploy to that subscription. Is that right?
Well, we
Yes.
do, but
Yes.
I don't see the subscription just yet. So that may take a little bit more time.
Okay.
What
So
I
in
was
the meantime-
wondering is if you want to actually go to the 425 show and issue a credential and show what happens on your machine, the Authenticator app won't open on my machine.
Wait, are you saying that you want me to
I
run this?
want you to show that it's a trusted domain with that little lock.
Oh, I see. And then do you want me to show the untrusted domain?
We could do either.
Okay, let's show
Although,
the trusted, right?
yeah, show the trusted.
Here, I've got too many on my name. So this is the other thing. Like you can put anybody's name there, and it will just work. And we'll say Stream Viewer because you guys have been watching with us. Make sure to scan the QR code on the side so you can get the same thing. So we're getting the credential now, and I need to open my authenticator to make this work. Sorry, we can't share on the screen, but I will flip my phone around.
Yeah,
So in the
there
authenticator,
there is an app for the desktop, but it's very much so beta, and I did download it, but it won't let me launch it on my machine, so I'm going to have to do some troubleshooting. But that might be something we could do. Well, I would say if you want to take a look at Matthias's video, he actually does it. So,
Yes,
but we
he
can
does.
show you the trusted.
So it says scanned, which is great, and now I need to input my PIN, which is also shown on the screen.
2108.
08. And at this point, if it wasn't verified, it would show you can't continue. So you have to say advanced, and then you have to go in security settings. But because this one is verified, it says verified over here.
Yeah,
Right?
and so that's what I was showing on the
That's-
screen when
yeah.
because without it being verified, it will always show as a risky site.
Got my
Look at that.
certificate. But now
Look
we
at
need to
that.
verify as well. Don't forget to verify. So for the verification, we follow exactly the same process. It knows we're doing Stream Viewer because it retains the state. And then I need to scan again. And then we'll say, which one do you want to present to me? Stream Viewer. Select, again, it is verified, right? Now it says getting the certificate that you want to, or the VC. So I have two. I have one in my name and one in Shannon's name because I'm trying to impersonate her. Ta-da!
You heard it
Now
here, folks. He's
I
trying to
will
be
say,
me.
I want to be an IT pro. And we're done.
Okay, so
This is now added. And request approved says down there at the bottom, or which is gone now. But yeah, so this is what gets presented back. So that's the flow. You issue, and then at some point, someone else is going to verify that VC. So maybe, the DMV issues you a verifiable credential, and then when you go to Walmart to buy some booze, some alcohol, you have to present the verifiable credential to prove that you're over 21. And the only way to do it was an official VC.
And if you think about it, if this
Mm-hmm.
continues to evolve, you may not have to carry a driver's license anymore, right? In theory, right? Like you could have all of that show up as a verifiable, so your name, your date of birth, all of that. And it's in a verifiable credential versus having to kind of rattle that off or
Yes.
show a card. Now,
Correct,
so
Amanda.
good news, Christos, the subscription is now over in the 425 show. Remind me, I added your
Gmail.
Gmail. Okay. So let's see. So add.
So people have seen my Outlook, my Gmail, my work email, and my phone. The only thing that you guys don't know is my address. This is hosted on Azure. That's absolutely right.
Right.
The Verifiable Credentials Service is an Azure service. It requires a key vault and it requires a storage account for issuing. No storage account if you're just verifying. But the website that we are going to deploy now, this specific website, is going to go to the new subscription that we have, because right now it's deployed on the old subscription and it's a little bit messy. There are some states that allow residents to store the driver's licenses on their phone, like a picture. Is that it? Okay.
If you just microchip every human, this is true. You'll also have people get scared, right? They think this is sort of the end of times. Okay, so it's Christos.
Dot
your Gmail. Okay, so
yeah.
Okay, so review and assign. Okay, so I just added you. You might
like an NFT says. Oh, Mr. Eximner says like an NFT. Yeah. and then I can screenshot somebody else's NFT and then present it as my driver's license. I love it. Sorry, did I say screenshot the NFT? Don't do that.
Okay, so if you want to, Christos, go back into the portal and see if you see that.
Which portal do you want me to go to?
The Azure portal. The Azure portal, not the Azure Active Directory portal.
The Azure XYZ or the Azure 425?
The 425.
425. Okay, so we're in the portal over here. No, I'm in the...
Well, no, go into the portal, because I want to make sure you can see the subscription.
So here, I see. Okay, subscriptions.
So uncheck that box.
Refresh. Just thinking about it. I may have to sign out and sign in again. You know?
Yeah, try that real quick. Sorry, I did give you access. I swear I did.
Sign out.
Yeah, so he's got contributor rights to this resource.
So I want to do, and then I need to sign in with my Gmail account. Yeah. So now if we go into subscriptions.
So uncheck that box.
Yes!
Perfect.
Woo-hoo!
All right, so now what we should do, see if we can move stuff. Because in theory...
Yes, or the mover.
We wouldn't have to... Well, in theory, we shouldn't have to move too much.
So mover goes
redeploy.
From...
We might be able to move stuff. So go into the 425.msft. I don't know if... So let's see. Let me take a look here.
Sounds like Sanon's getting paid back for. I swear I gave you permissions. Try again. Yeah. What is the idea behind the project? So the idea behind VCs or verifiable credentials is that you eliminate the need for companies to maintain usernames and passwords for you, and you as a user have a verifiable credential that you can present to enterprises, companies, colleges, anywhere that they accept them, banks maybe, to verify who you are, to verify that you are who you say you are. And because it's verifiable, it lives on top of hefty infrastructure like blockchain and Ion. It means that there is a valid authority behind it and it cannot be stolen and what have you. Unless somebody steals your phone and then have access to your authenticator, which they shouldn't because it requires you to sign in anyway. So with that, I would say that the whole project here is to show you how to configure your DNS name. So that's the bit that we're doing today. We've done all the other parts. So it is like authorization, but for larger scale. I would say yes. Yeah. It eliminates
and you don't have to know a password. So we were just talking about this yesterday. So as this moves to consumer-based end users, they wouldn't have to remember their password, or they wouldn't have to have the same password across 8 sites or whatever, right? That's kind of the way...
8 million sites.
Right, 8 million sites. It's kind of the way people operate, right? They pick the same password, and then when they get a hack, they have to change their password across all of those sites. So in the event that Yahoo has a breach in the future, Gmail, I've never heard of Gmail having one, but any of those sites, Facebook, Restream, I mean, I think everybody's at risk. If you have a verifiable credential, you're sort of outside of the purview of a password hack. So your verifiable credential is different. It's fully encapsulated. It's the public and private key that you own. There's nothing that you lean on from a password perspective related to that vendor. So,
Yeah, I would say
so
yet for Google. Well, you haven't heard yet.
that we haven't heard, right?
Yet.
So
Doesn't
either they nipped it in the bud really quickly. They are really great at security, or they have an awesome publicist. It's hard to tell, right?
Yeah, I was reading about some awful practices there, but I'm not going to go into that now, especially in the public. If you want to chat about it, hit me up privately. But
So I don't think so. I think so. Yeah, go to the Azure Resource Mover. Let's see what we can actually move without having to
Yes.
redeploy.
Very quickly for Mr. Extremely, the map get is not a hook, it's an HTTP endpoint. So somebody needs to call it. If you want to create a webhook that responds to other events like callbacks, then you can also do that. But I would say that this is not a webhook. It's actually an API endpoint, but we're using a different syntax rather than creating controllers for that. Hope that makes sense. Okay, Mover. Let's see what we can move. Move resources, right?
Yep.
Move across subscription. So we hit this one.
Yeah, try that.
Yeah, try that.
I actually haven't played with this too much recently.
So from 45 MSFT, oh my God. Oh, resource group, okay. Which one is it now?
Oh, it's the centralized IDs.
Is
That's
it?
where we put everything. Yep.
Is that where we put them? Well,
So that's where the key vault and the storage account is, right? And the app itself is in a different. I think it's in centralized assets.
Centralized DAS IDs? What did you do?
Yeah, I think that works. That works.
Oh, I got it. Exactly the same, just capitalization there.
That works.
Far beyond your .NET Azure understanding. It's okay, Moshiko, it's absolutely fine. We are deploying a .NET website that exposes some API endpoints and has some views. So you could do exactly the same with Node or Python. Okay, next, let's see what happens. Oh, add resources. Okay.
Try all of it.
All of them.
Why not?
Why not?
If it breaks, we've got ways to redeploy it, right? That's
So
the
I
only
think-
reason.
Yeah, go on.
I'll say that's the thing I'm big on here, right? In the event we need to redeploy it, we've got code to redeploy it, right? Like,
Check this out.
You
It says,
probably
checking whether these resources can be moved. So I suspect that it might say, you know what, you can't move your key vault, for example, for whatever reason.
But I
show
know
hidden
that
resources.
I know that it's one of those things where this was trying to be everybody's everything. So in the event they redeployed something, because you know how it goes, you give your developers access. Sorry, Christos, and then all of a sudden your testo ones become production, right? So I think this is what they were trying to mitigate, moving this around in the event it becomes production.
So I think the only thing that is going to definitely change is the IP address
Correct.
of the service. But I don't know if they have some kind of magic that they allow you to transfer resources as is. Because technically it's a compute, right? Somewhere there's some compute that has been deployed. And then there's some networking on top of that. And then there is other governance around it. Maybe they can just change the pointer to the subscription itself. Like which subscription it belongs to. And it happens.
Yeah, so this would actually be a call to action if folks who are watching this, and I'm also talking about Microsoft folks. Resource Mover was a super fascinating area, and I just don't know enough of the underpinnings.
I am impressed. I didn't even know that this thing existed. So thank you for opening my eyes.
Yeah. Well, and so I know why it existed because I can't tell you how many customers had that situation where they gave their developers access and that Testo1 app became production.
Yeah.
Sorry, Chris. It happens, right? But this is sort of a way to fix all that because you can fix just about everything else. You can make DNS resolve the right URL through the power of CNAMEs and certificates, right? So,
and worst case scenario, we'll wipe everything out and we'll start from scratch. We do know what we need to deploy, and the only thing that we probably will have to do is the service principal credentials for the verifiable credential service. The one that allows you to get a token to call these services, right? Because that's what the service principal is used for.
Yeah. And there might be some stuff we have to do with the storage and the rules files. I'm hopeful we can just do this.
Correct.
God, wouldn't that be awesome? We're getting to that point. We used to joke when I was still in the field that eventually Azure will be everybody's everything. But by that point, there'll be so many new services that it sort of kind of doesn't really matter, right? So everything so it looks like the app service won't move, which is fine.
Oh, boo. What are the error details here? I suspect that because it has DNS.
Open it up. That's what I'm wondering too. Open it up in a new browser window and see if it tells you.
Please select all the Microsoft Web resources from this. Oh, you know what? Somebody said there are resources that were hidden. Source and target resources to move. So previews. So we had that. Sorry, we're going back because Hey Samples on the Microsoft Developer channel said make sure to also select the hidden ones. Oh, come on, don't do this. Don't treat me like that. Oh, you know what? Maybe we need to add resources. So my bad. Yes. Okay. It took a while. Decentralized IDs. Do we have a new?
You got it. You got to flip the subscription to
True.
Azure
Thank you.
Subscription one. Yep.
Thank you. Cloud Show. No, we don't. We have a DID. Huh. What? Oh yeah, we created a DID because we deployed something else.
That's when we did the other day. Yeah, when we
Yeah.
built everything out the other day.
So next, it's resources to move, and then add resources. Oh, show hidden types.
There you go.
Oh, check
So
that
now
out.
move
Thank
all
you.
of it. Yep.
Thank you, Hey Samples. Rock and roll. Failure anomalies. Okay. And then we'll head next and see what happens.
Cross your fingers.
Cross your toes. Cross your fingers. I mean, worst case scenario, we'll
cross
redeploy.
Yeah, exactly. But that also means we may need to, because we're going to have to reset up verifiable credentials. We're going to have to reset up.
No.
We'll
only need to reset the website.
Well, that's if we can get Key Vault to move. That's if we can get the storage account to move. So that's all I'm thinking of. Like if any of this fails, we may need to spend a little bit of time cleaning some of this up, which is
maybe another stream because
that's what I'm wondering, right?
Yeah.
Like maybe we leave this up because we do have flexibility of leaving this app up for a bit.
Correct.
And maybe what we do is we develop a playlist of how we want to do this, because this actually would be invaluable to showcase.
Correct.
Because this does happen, right? You have to move things around.
And for people that just joined us, we do have a hackathon that is taking place from today until Monday. And if you want to get a chance to build something with decentralized identities and have fun learning and talking to our engineering team, make sure to sign up. Let me put the link here in the chat. And we have a Discord channel as well where you can reach out to us for whatever reason. Thank you, Bol, for putting the Discord stuff up. I'm going to dump it on the Microsoft Developer channel as well for our friends that are watching there, and on YouTube. Make sure to check it out in the description below. And the hackathon details are 425.show DID. And you know what? I am silly now because we already have that shortcut somewhere. Restream to the rescue. Where's the hackathon stuff? Hackathon. So many things. So these are Discord. Let's display it. Look at that. And yeah, I haven't done the Stream Elements hackathon stuff. Sorry, Bolt. I value your efforts. So it's 425.show DID hackathon. Yeah. Azure Active Directory, a P2 license for development is free forever. No, it's not off topic. This is exactly what we're talking about. And you will need a Microsoft 365 developer tenant to do the hackathon because you need a P2 license.
Yep. And that's right now. That's been the big caveat. That might change in the future. So we're in public preview. And if you're not familiar with public preview versus GA, sometimes things do change before it gets to GA. So the idea of kind of Christmas and my role is we're trying to give some visibility to these services before they reach GA. So, there you go. Look at that. Oh,
yeah, we did say that I am directionally challenged, but if you use this link, aka.ms45 show dev, you can get a free Microsoft tenant. But if you join the hackathon, we have all the steps that you need to complete your challenge successfully.
What would be crazy is if this just all moves and it works. Wouldn't that be amazing?
Yeah. Are you guys still crossing your fingers because I don't see action here? Cross your fingers.
Yeah, and then for the folks who are just tuned in, if you want to check out how the verifiable credentials work, you see that QR code at the right-hand side of your page or your window, I should say. Scan that in to a QR code reader. It will open up Microsoft Authenticator. Check that out. Check it
Oh
out.
my God. Moshiko
Check
says
it
here,
out.
action. Nice. I understand that will break everything, but do it for me anyway.
I mean, yeah. So
Will not work
So
until
this
I
is an
update
awesome
them to
thing in
use.
the sense that it you should be able to move most things now.
Can you imagine?
But I mean, it came as a result of customers who are like, I don't want to redeploy. it was a system administrator who said that. I'll make the joke. It's fine.
Hey, I don't know
and then
what
the
I've deployed.
developers were
Please
like,
move
really?
it. I don't know what I deployed. I have no idea what the code is there. I've been in a company once that said, hey, we need to rewrite this software. I was like, okay, I'll help you write it. I was working as a consultant. And I said, yeah, I should be able to write it. So they said, you need to see a demo of the app. I was not allowed to the actual room. It was an application that was used to allow people to fax in demands to not demands, but requests to the bank. So let's say I had $50,000 in my account, right? And I want to transfer them to some other account. So I had to send a fax with a PIN code to that room because only that room would accept it. They had to take the PIN code and validate it against the PIN codes that they gave you, and it has to arrive in the right order, so you can't, go out of order. And then I am surprised. Yes, thank you, Todd. I am surprised because I've never used the Resource Mover before, and it just works.
Right. So and I haven't either. I didn't know that the hidden items was the key there. So
Yeah,
when you
kudos
have to move
to,
things
Hey
around, that's
Santos.
the key. That's the key. So make sure you have all the hidden components that don't necessarily show up. Make sure you move everything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how long this takes. That's the one thing that
We
I'm
can
now
find out. I'm
curious
going to
on.
go back into the portal and sign in now to our XYZ thingy, right? Oh, anyway, so I was saying the story. So they said, we need to show you a demo because you're not allowed to be in the room. So the PM was in the room with the staff that was only allowed to get in the room. And they were making millions out of this application, which was crazy. And then somebody did a demo. I was like, okay, I see what the application is doing. And then they said, here are the DLLs. Now rewrite the app. So they didn't give me source code. They gave me the compile code. And they also didn't give me any screenshots or anything. So I had to remember what they've shown me. So we had to do another demo like 2 weeks later. But I had to reverse engineer the code from the DLL. So if you've never done this before, trust me, IL Spy or other tools don't really give you the accurate representation. So something that I said is going to take 2 weeks took me 2 months.
Oof.
Yeah, but
Well, at least you were heavily utilized. You probably had 100% utilization, right? From a consultant perspective.
yeah, I had to work like nights and weekends to make sure that I didn't screw up. And then in the end,
Any scope creep?
there was no scope creep because we didn't really have a scope.
Oh,
They
that's
didn't
good.
know what they were building. So from that perspective, let's see resources. Let's see what we have.
Go to resource groups.
Yeah, where's there?
Oh, you're in the other tenant, so nothing will show up there anymore.
Oh yeah, because we moved to the 45. Sorry,
Yep.
yeah, I
So
got
you go
confused
to the
now.
45
We're in the
show.
right one. Azure Resource Mover. Also this one. Okay.
So home, go into the resource groups,
Resource groups.
and now you should see
Decentralized.
decentralized IDs.
But it's lowercase.
Well, and yeah, it's still in the wrong subscription, so
Wait.
that's not.
No, we went from the 45 show to the XYZ subscription, right?
Yeah, go to
So
the
it was in the right
subscriptions
subscription.
blade. Go to the subscription blade.
You got me all confused now. Home.
Go to the
Yes.
subscription blade.
Subscriptions. Yes.
Yep. You're in the wrong tenant. Nothing's gonna be there. Do you want to just close out of that one?
I am in the wrong tenant. You're right. So close this one.
Yeah.
Also,
we're
I need
done
to
with that
be
one.
in the
425 show.
40. I need to sign in as a 45, so I need to sign in with my Gmail account.
Yeah.
God, this is getting confusing now.
So you've got that. You're actually signed in.
I am.
And then what I would do is I would go back to the home screen and I would go into
Subscription.
subscriptions, and then I would uncheck that box right there. Go into Azure Subscription 1.
Resources.
I think you should see resource groups here. Scroll down on the left, on the middle blade, the skinnier blade.
This one. Resource groups.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, there
Click
you
on
go.
decentralized IDs. Let's see what's going on in here.
I love accounts. Yeah. So many accounts. They might still be in the process of being transferred.
Oh, I'm sure that's the case because I think there's some.
Oh my God! Look at that. They've already
I
been
think
moved.
there's some magic that happens behind the scenes, and
Some pointers.
yeah, this is always one of those things. Like I wish I knew more of who the feature PMs were for Azure Resource Mover
thank
because
them.
I'd be like, how does this work? Yeah, right. It's a lot of magic. I'm sure it was a lot of software deving. I'm glad it's not my role. Right.
I'm smiling right now because after almost 2 years streaming, Todd, our manager, jumped on the chat to say you are surprised that something has worked. After 2 years, though, that was the comment that, like, first time, you know what, I'm going to screenshot that. Because
Yeah, screenshot it. Keep
out
it.
of all the amazing things that we build, this is the first time that he commented on something. And I was like, you managed to make something work and you're surprised about it. Thank you. That's the
So
confidence I
now
have.
here's the
Definitely a
magic.
promo.
You know what we should do? So go into the
on.
app service, make sure it's started.
Can you imagine if it just works and it has the right DNS settings?
I might cry. I might cry and believe in magic.
It's still loading.
It's okay.
Fine. Are you going to host Docker in that domain? You can host Docker. In fact, under app service, you can choose whether you want to containerize your app and upload it and run as Linux or Windows container. Okay. Right. Let's see. This
So
is
click on the URL. This is. Oh my God! Fingers crossed. Holy smokes!
Oh my God!
Holy smokes! We did it all.
It's working.
We did it all. Now here's what we have to do though. We have to make sure that the credentials work.
Yes.
So issue a credential.
So far, so good. In honor of our boss, I'm going to give him. He's a stream viewer. Of course, he gets a certificate. Okay. I mean, this is positive. The fact that it hasn't crashed over here, it means that he made a request to the Verifiable Credential Service.
I want to meet these software devs. These software devs for Azure Resource Mover, magic.
Love you guys.
Magic.
Love you. You're amazing. So I'm getting a certificate. Quote of the day: we did it all. Oh. Sorry, you can't go any further. Tap to go back. Something went wrong. We got an error message here.
Okay. Well, we knew we would probably have to reconfigure some of this. But I mean, so I think the
Brew to the Azure Resource Mover. They didn't do.
Well, I think you and I are gonna have to spend some time and make sure that the the DID stuff works. I think that's what we have to do next.
Yeah, I think.
And so. I bet you. Actually, you know what? I know exactly what it is. The permissions. The
permissions to the storage account.
They go away when you move them to a new subscription.
Yes,
So
someone else logged in. The PIN code is under there. No. The PIN code gets presented to you as part of the QR code, and then when you scan the QR code goes away, and the PIN just stays at the top. So right now it's working as it's supposed to work. So let's go back and check our permissions.
Yeah, so we might be able to fix this pretty quickly. I'm going in too. I'm taking a look at it.
So we have no, I'm in the wrong place. I need to be under here, and then I need to be under here. Oh, God. So decentralized IDs, and then we need to go into storage, and then we need to check the access
I guarantee
control.
you that's what it is. So every time, if folks don't know this, every time you move resources around, you have to re-permission.
Add role assignments.
So, Yeah, go to role assignments.
Someone else looked. No one else has looked. It's thinking about it. Role assignments.
Yep.
Yeah,
see, we're gonna have to add.
What?
That's exactly what it is. Okay. So
what is this?
So it's because it's inherited from the root. See, JP is still around. I told you I had to fix that, and I never did. Remember, I remember I said right before Christmas. I'm like, I have to redo privilege identity and access.
JP is hacking us.
Still,
it said I can't do role assignments. Am I missing contributor rights or owner rights? You might have to do it. Do you want to click on your own screen?
Do you want to? So hang on a second here. We can just do that real quick.
I gave you access.
Okay, perfect. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into a different browser. I'm going to move this over here because I myself, I want to make sure I do this right.
Yeah.
I think that's the thing. And so I have this working in a couple of environments. And it's nuanced enough that I want to make sure we get this configured correctly.
Yeah. So while you're doing that, I want to respond to some comments in the chat.
Go for it.
So Mosiko 777, You can deploy anything you want, VMs. You can be IaaS, you can be PaaS or FaaS, whichever level you feel more confident with. In app services, when you create an app service, you can choose whether you want to deploy a Dockerized app, because that means they can bring your own dependencies with you. So you don't have to deploy on bare bones PaaS and get dependencies on the runtimes. You can also deploy your own container service, and you can also set up continuous integration with either Azure Container Registry or Docker Container Registry. And I think you need a private container registry, which means you need to pay now for it. But in any case, please correct me if I'm wrong. But in any case, containerizing apps is great. We do have a brand new service called Azure Container Apps. Is that the right name?
I think that's it. Yep.
Azure Container Apps. Let's see, Azure Container. They haven't even added it. Container Apps. There you go. It's just not Azure. And this actually allows you to create a container app and then dump your container there. It's one step up from ACI, Azure Container Instances, and one step down from Kubernetes, because it will scale and do things for you without having a dependency on a Kubernetes service.
Okay, so
where are we?
I am in the Key Vault right now. We have to go and we have to create some access policies in here.
Yes, we have.
So
Also, I removed all the permissions for the service principals, and I suspect because.
So get this. Okay, great. So that's great there.
I think it's just storage, son. I think it's
so
storage.
Yeah, let's go back to the storage then.
Worst case scenario, we might have to remove them and add them again.
Yeah.
Because there might be some weird IDs that have been mixed up, but I doubt it. Let's see what happens.
Yep, that's exactly what it is. Okay.
Yeah, it's the storage account permissions.
Yeah. And I was just curious, did the Key Vault permissions transfer in the access policies? It looks like the access policies, as we know, would be separate from IAM.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. So go down to containers.
So what is really impressive is that if you get a VC networking network error code 3, I think we can map it to storage. So for the people that are doing the hackathon, we have if this happens, then it's probably this, your permissions in Key Vault. Okay. Sorry, your permissions in storage. Storage. It needs to be a data reader, right?
Yeah, data reader. Next, and I'm going to select the members now. So this is me. And then we also need to make sure I pick the right one. It's the issuer service. So they both have storage blob data reader.
Yep.
Next, no conditions, review and assign. Oh my gosh, do you want to try it? Do you want to flip back to your screen and try it again?
Dun, dun, dun. Let's do it.
Try it?
Let's do it. So we're here. We're running under the new domain. So let's verify. No, I don't want to verify. And this is not the right one. So let's close this one. Let's go here because we want to issue it to our manager. So let's refresh. Todd. I can assume his identity as a stream viewer anytime I want to now because it's verified. No? Okay, so go back. I'm going to scan it again. Make sure I scan the right QR code. Nope.
Still doesn't like
still,
it.
Still
Okay.
same error message, but I wonder if the permissions take a little bit to.
It's possible. I was going to look at the service principal too, and just make sure we don't need to redo anything on that front. Do you know?
The service principal. We want to do anything there. Like delete the service principal and reinstate
No, I don't want
it?
to delete it. I want to keep it. I just don't know if I have to do anything with it.
So let's go through the steps, right? The first thing they have to do is create the service principal. The second one is add it to Key Vault with right list and get permissions. And then the third thing that we have to do is, wow, the managed identity here can access Key Vault. That's the one thing that we haven't looked at yet. So if we go back to our home, decentralized IDs, we are using a managed identity here to access Key Vault. I wonder if that's broken. Although if that was broken, it wouldn't have loaded the code. Someone else logged in, the pin code is under there. No, it seems like the stream is more about DevOps work than code. Well, this time, we're doing more DevOps, and I appreciate the comment. But in general, we've been very heavy on coding. If you check our YouTube channel, 45 Show, so ak.ms, 45 Show, YouTube, then you'll see that we've got a ton of coding sessions. But today we're troubleshooting something that we have already deployed out there. So Shannon, I'm thinking if there was an issue with the with a managed identity, then we would
I don't think we would have gotten this far.
gotten error messages. Yeah,
Yeah,
it would have been much sooner.
Yeah, I wonder if it's just.
I wonder if it's just the time that it takes to propagate the permissions. I've seen this before. So let me give it another go and see what happens. Refresh. I will persist. Let's see. Let's scan it. Damn it. Still the same error message.
And what does it say?
Still says VC networking, network error, code 3. But it is usually permissions. Bolt, I know where you're coming from, and for British people, it says, oh, I'm getting some information here. Diagnostic data. User object ID has account name, mode pin requested. Just trying to decipher. MFA successfully created. Should we see if that well-known endpoint works? I mean, I wouldn't expect it not to work, but I wonder if there's like something weird.
Yeah, so it's worthy of checking.
Yeah,
because everything else looks like it's set up correctly.
That's right.
Although, let me take a look at something now that I'm thinking about it.
What could we be missing? Kaboom! That works. Yeah.
I wonder if we have to redo the credentials, each credential.
Storage account?
Let me see. Take a look at
Why
something
should we
here.
do them again? You think?
Well, hang on a second here. Let me take a look at this.
Mm-hmm.
That's that. Choice identifier, key vault, string identifier, recovery, domain, credentials, getting started.
Yeah, let's go through the what could we have missed out. The domain name works, which is great. Nothing broken there. Thank you for subscribing, Mashiko. That's great. We appreciate any follows. And make sure to follow the 45 Show on Twitch as well. And we don't always stream on Microsoft Developer. So if you're interested in security and identity, make sure to click the follow. Is it follow?
I bet you this is what it is. I bet you this is what it is. So it's still pointing. It's still pointing to the other subscription.
Oh, it is?
So let's see what we can do about saving.
You mean the XYZ?
No, it's pointing to the 425. So you know okay. So so let me go into each one of these credentials real quick here. If you want to flip over to what I'm doing.
Yep.
So we've got all these different credentials, right? So we've got, blog reader, stream viewer, blah, blah, blah. So let's go into stream viewer.
Okay.
So you've got all the info right here, the tenant ID, the key vault URI, the signing key, etc. Go down to properties. I don't know why it's pointing to the wrong subscription. So let's point it to the right subscription because it's still the same info that we're pulling it from.
Yep. You are right.
Takes a second or two.
Oh yeah, because it's the different storage account.
Correct.
We moved these things from there to
Yep. So I'm going to go through and I'm going to change so if you want to give it like a couple of seconds here and you want to try it again.
Yep.
In theory, that's good. We've got all kinds of credentials in here. So I'll change blog reader now. This is good practice, but this is stuff that we don't do every single day, like switching stuff around with subscriptions, right? So
well, it made our life a lot easier, so we didn't have to redeploy. Hey, Sally777. Oh my God, what is with the sevens? Is it something like elite that I don't know about? But thank you for joining us. We are we're just almost finishing troubleshooting our verifiable credential
God, I hope this
web
is
app,
all we need to do.
which
I hope
is,
this is all we need to do.
I think it is. I think it is, Shannon, because this one is pointing to the wrong files because they don't
Yep.
exist there anymore.
Yep.
7-7 Club.
Hackathon, YouTube
I need to
Watcher.
change my name to be in the 7-7 Club, I guess.
Christos 777.
Christos 7-7. No, we have
Or
Christos
7.
Limited.
Oh yeah, Christos Limited 777. I like that.
007?
Why not? Just do it.
I like the TikToks that go around from developers that go like, they call me 007. It's like zero bugs fixed, 0 code committed, 7 hours of watching YouTube videos or something like that. Yeah, and if you don't follow me on TikTok, follow me because I'm kicking off a new series on identity and security where you can learn with me in 3 minutes about various things.
You're going to teach people 3-minute things? That's exciting.
It's actually very targeted. I like the fact that you have 3 minutes to talk about one topic and one topic alone, so you can really, expand on things. And then if people want to learn more, they can come to our stream where we do the deep dives.
Yeah. Okay. So I think. Oh, you know what? I don't think it's letting me.
What? It doesn't let you save? So we might have to recreate them from scratch?
Hang on. Let's see.
Oh, there you go. It's
Credentials successfully updated.
Yeah. Oh, it took some time, so you have to start from scratch?
I don't know. Let's see.
Okay.
Let's see what we got.
Let's find out. Dun, dun, dun.
Yeah, we may actually have to recreate all of the credentials, which that's going to take some time. So I don't know if you want to.
Well, maybe we'll do one. How about
We
we
could
do
do one.
one?
Yeah, okay, I'm
and
good with that. I'm
then
good with
if
that.
we can prove that this is
with
solving the
that.
problem, then we can take it off stream and then we do it one at a
And
time.
we'll clean it all up. Okay, so let's do
That will
this.
be your task for the day.
Add a credential. So we'll call it Azure Subscription 1. We'll call this Stream Viewer 1. Select the display file. Yeah, that's what I want. So wait, this is a display file, right? Let me double check. Display file, this is the rules file. So remember that's important in this setup.
We have a Russian in the house. Welcome. It's fine, no English. Sorry, I appreciate that. There will be captions on our YouTube video, so you can watch the caption video there. It's the auto-generated one. Hey, thank you for following 1GS360. I am getting better at pronouncing names. And thank you for all the followers on the Microsoft 365 developer channel. Sandra and Christos, can you guide me through which Microsoft certification I should go for? I just got my AZ900 today, but I want to go more into data analytics side. We do have a data analytics path, don't we, on Microsoft?
We do. It's the data platform, I believe, is the DP
Learn.
exams.
The DP exams. Okay,
Yep.
Microsoft Learn, and then they have certifications on there. So let's have a look. While Shannon is doing that, I will try to.
Yeah. So I was going to tell you this, Christos. We're going to have to get ourselves out of this and redo it.
Oh, really?
We've got to. Yep.
From scratch?
So look at this. So Stream Viewer 1, even though I pointed it to the right subscription,
right,
it's still pointing it to the 425.msft subscription. So we're
see.
going to have to delete this and restart it up. And so my thought is maybe what we do is we could, since we're still kind of in this decentralized identity realm, why don't we do this for the next stream? Because people might need to delete credentials and start over. What do you think?
They might need to. My worry is that we have 5 days where people could be scanning credentials or looking at our code, and then.
Well, yeah. So I'm thinking about deleting, like opting out of the preview and then redoing it. And then you and I can troubleshoot and make sure it's up and functional, and we could like follow up. Unless you want to go through that right now, it's going to take a little bit of time. That's because remember there's some cleanup work. So if you opt out and you redo it, you can't keep the same name. You've got to kind of wait for it to kind of cycle through.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So you mean the Verifiable Credential Service?
Correct. If you delete this, it takes a little bit of time to cycle through and replicate globally, and then you can redo it, but it takes about kind of 5 to 10 minutes. So.
Yeah. Okay. So in that case,
So I'm wondering.
Bob
Yeah,
is
I'm
like,
wondering.
we should do it in the evening. We could, but we also have other stuff to do. And
Yeah,
several links
so
players
I'm
for the
wondering.
mobile network
Yeah,
is
I'm
weak.
wondering if. So I guess maybe we could ask the folks that are tuning in, because I'm sure folks are going to want to know how to do this. Would
Yeah.
it make sense to do like a video on this and showcase how it works? Like, I mean, I'm happy to do
Are you gonna
whatever,
have
but I
enough
just
time to do a
know
video?
before next week to capture some
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if it'll be a video or it'll be screenshots. That I'm not sure of. So okay, yeah, because I do feel like this workflow is going to be important, and that it's this deleting it that takes a while, because I had to redo it twice in my own environment before I stood
Oh,
it up
yeah.
in this environment, and it's not instantaneous. It does take
Okay.
about 10 to 15 minutes to kind of purge.
Uh-huh.
So my thinking is I could purge everything. We could showcase what it takes
Yep.
from a video perspective. We could even show that next week, or upload it and share it. But yeah, I don't know, because I think that's the thing we're gonna have to redo. We're gonna have to re-link this up to the other subscription we use. So that's probably the next nuanced thing. So
Yeah, I suspect that we have to. And Bolt says, yeah, video would be super helpful, so we might
okay,
do that. For our friends that are watching on the Microsoft 365 developer tenant, then, sorry, the Microsoft 365 developer channel. Sorry, no, the Microsoft developer channel. God, I'm losing my words. I need more coffee. It's been a long day. It's been a long morning so far. But thank you for everyone for joining us today. Thanks everyone for joining. Thanks. I hope you learned something. We'll definitely add the steps 1G 360 for all the things that we did. By the way, if you haven't had the chance to check our previous videos that we showed how to set everything up for decentralized identity, make sure to do that. Make sure to join the hackathon. You still have time. We still have 4 days before you submit your solution on Monday. So plenty of time to sign up and participate. Lots of free swag out there. And are there NPM libraries to use this service? There's no NPM libraries. The Verifiable Credential Service is all APIs.
yep.
So no node libraries. As long as you have an HTTP library that can send and receive requests, then it's 4 simple calls. One is to make the request, and then there's a God, I'm losing my words. There's a response that comes back. You need to have a callback. Sorry, it's a callback. There's a callback that comes back and says you've sent the request and you're checking for state. And then for the verification, it's exactly the same thing. You send the verification request, you wait for the user to scan the QR code, and then there's a callback that says, hey, the user has actually scanned, and then you need to respond to that. Most of the code that we have in the samples is about changing the UI, not about making the call. So that's the funky bit there. But you can use any language, any stack, any library. There is a node sample, by the way. If you check 425.show, 425, right? 425. Correct me if I'm wrong, Shannon. Show /VC sample.
I think that's what we have. Yep.
Yep. It will take you to the actual samples, and you can select which one you want to use for the hackathon. In effect, we give you everything you need to participate in the hackathon. You don't have to pay anything, you don't have to write anything, but ideally you want to go a little bit further so that you can get better chances for winning. Anything else missed out, Shannon?
No, I don't think so. So I can create a video of opting out and then opting back in, and what that looks like. Because I think that's the next key here is, I think, and then you and I, we can do some testing once I've done that.
Yep.
And in theory, that's back up and functional because everything else is permissioned correctly. And in the event we need to, we can always redeploy. But gosh, wouldn't it be more amazing if we could just kind of know that if you needed to switch subscriptions, you could use Resource Mover. If you do use Resource Mover, you just need to reallocate the verifiable credentials. So we've got a little bit of homework on our end, and hopefully next week when you guys tune in, we've got a kind of a video overlay, and we can kind of walk through that, what that looks like.
Exactly. So stand by while we get everything sorted for you guys. Make sure you sign up on our YouTube channel to not miss out any of the upcoming episodes or any of the existing ones that we put out there. There's a nice playlist for the decentralized stuff. We'll add this one there as well once I cut it and tweak it, because we've been talking for a very long time. And and now I think it's time for us to raid somebody else. So we have our
Let's
very
do
good
it.
friend, Jeff Fritz, doing some .NET stuff, I guess. And then we have Visual Studio Code, Visual Studio doing a stream as well. So which one should we do? Do you guys want to stay with Microsoft or do you want to go to somebody else? You let us know. No one is responding, so I will take the initiative and take everybody to Code Rust. He's got 4 people. Why not send him some
There you go.
good friends
Let's do
there?
it. Let's do
Oh,
it.
one alien is doing Blazor. Okay. So do you guys want to see? Oh, let's go with Fritz, people say. Well, the audience has spoken, so we're going with Fritz.
Cool. Let's do it.
Cool. Now, let me press the magic buttons because it takes time for me to do that. I'm not that quick. Right, Fritz, it is. He's got 160 people, man. He's doing great. Now he'll get 140 people. Well, thanks everyone for joining us. Raid is going live now and on the other channel now, and then
And we
roll
will
the
see you next
credits.
week.
And we'll see you next week.